the circuit that blew when you had stress, trauma, anger, depression, fear running around inside your head, or when you get triggered about it and the circuit comes up broken, which is what leads to these negative feelings of illness. Okay? And actually illness, in my experience as a healer, is caused by emotional energy that hasn't been processed and let out of the nervous system. If you look back to when did your pain start, you can track it to, it started the day that I thought I'm never going to be loved, or the day I thought I'm a failure, or the day that someone said I'm leaving you. Okay? Or the day someone died. You ask yourself, how long has this pain been here? And then ask yourself, what major, scary, sad, hard thing was going on at that time? When you clear the emotion of that, your body will fix itself, because now it has the life force to do it. Tap your index finger. Okay, did I tell you the thumb point here? Okay, I just did it, didn't I? So put your hand like you're going to karate chop something. Doesn't matter which hand. You could do left or right. You're going to do the top edge of your thumbnail right at the side of the nail bed. Okay, you're working an intestinal point here. Small and large intestines, these first two fingers. Index finger, the same place. Okay, middle finger, the same place. Fourth finger, put your hand towards the ceiling, lift your hand up and do the opposite side of your fourth finger. It's the only one that's the opposite side of the finger. Some practitioners are going to show you that this point is between these two knuckles because this line of energy runs this way. They thought it would be really confusing to tell you to do the other side of the finger, so they had people start working this point on the back of the hand. But this skin is sensitive here, and I do hours of tapping a day, so I like to use this point, and I don't think that it's too hard for you to learn. Okay, back to the inside of the pinky. Good. So the fourth finger that we were just tapping is called the triple warmer point, and it helps you clear energy related to self and perceived other. Self in the room, self in the conference, self in the weather, self in somebody else, and your thermostat of your body. And this point that we're doing here is another heart point. Okay, tap the side of your hand right here. It's good for digestion, and it's also helping the mind to get on the same page with the emotional body, because a lot of time the mind tells you that it's too scary and overwhelming to process your feelings, but not processing them keeps you stuck, and repeating scenarios to bring up the same feelings in an effort to eventually clear them with some form of compassion. Okay, top of the head, all over the head. You've got hundreds of little points in your scalp, okay? Big breath, big sigh. Good. Great, now you can relax. Do you feel more energized than you did a second ago? More awake? So now you've just learned the physical component of EFT. And what makes this technique so powerful is that it's three parts: body, mind, and spirit simultaneously. And when you do all three at once, this alchemical mixture of these three sacred things, your emotional processing goes quantum, meaning that it could take you a few breaths or a few minutes to process something that you've been carrying around for years. Okay, so the mental part is you're going to just stop arguing with reality and start acknowledging with empathy what happened to you. It doesn't mean that it was okay that it happened to you. It doesn't mean that, oh, we're just going to be nice about it. It means you're just going to talk to yourself and get real about how upset you've been feeling, and stop trying to be so sweet and politically correct and new age over it with your positive affirmations for a minute, which is what we've been taught, which is beautiful. That's the last step. But this middle step is what gets skipped, which is what slows down all the positive affirming we're doing and positive thinking. It's this middle step that people are most uncomfortable with, but it's the secret ingredient in making yourself be actually complete with the scenario. meaning you have to get real with yourself for a couple of minutes. Okay? And it's okay if it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty. It's coming out of your subconscious. It's coming out of a place of wounding. It's coming out of revenge and anger and sorrow and fear and embarrassment and shame and all of that stuff. But when it meets empathy, meaning that you're finally paying attention to it, some kind of acceptance, yep, that's how I feel and that is what happened, then it finally gets what it's been looking for the whole time. And it relaxes and lets you move forward. So think about it for a minute. When you're talking to your friends and family and you hear yourself going, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today, and you're going on and on about this negative things that happened to you, what are you looking for? You're looking for sympathy, empathy, someone to see it from your point of view. And when you don't get it, that can start a fight. Well, like, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today. You're like, but you didn't even listen to what happened to me today. Yeah, but what happened to me was a lot worse than what happened to you. And then pretty soon people are fighting because what they wanted was some form of love or empathy. You're the person who knows your story best. Your brain doesn't care if you get empathy from your mom or your friend, as you know, as you dial through people who will listen to you, or from Facebook. It doesn't care where you're getting your empathy. It's best if you learn to give it to yourself, because then you're not trying to wring it out of your friends and family. If they give it to you, great. And if they don't, you're not stuck. And the more you give yourself, the more you automatically give other people. Instinctively. Because you don't have so much stress. Your cup is full. It's like, here, have some. Instead of compassion, which I'm denying from myself, but would like to wring out of you or wring out of me to give to you, even though my cup is empty because I've been so hard on myself and so angry with myself for all these years, right? So first we're going to put our own oxygen mask on and then take care of the people around us, like on the airplane. Okay, first we're going to learn to give empathy to ourselves and then to other people. So here we go. Oh, and the last piece is that positive reframe. You're going to tell yourself, I love myself anyway, even though this happened. I'm a good person anyway. I'm open to clearing this. You're going to give yourself those positive thoughts that you're already, hopefully, fairly good at least knowing you should be thinking, okay? I'm going to make this really easy and give you some words to say. You're going to tune into your own experience. And if the words I'm using don't fit for your experience, you say what does fit for your experience. It's not about following what I say. It's about following what's true for you. Got it? All right. So finding your chest, point. I want you to tune in again to that level of fear or concern that came up when you said what your divine purpose was. So say again what your purpose is, or the piece that you're aware of in this moment. I'm here to...
I am here to be the voice of God.
Tune into the fear, the yeah, but, and the what if that comes up. So what comes up for you? What thought or feeling? Just shout it out.
Judgment of other people.
What else?
How am I going to do it?
How am I going to do it? Not worth.
Inactivity.
Inactivity. Frozen. Too hard. Don't look stupid. It's going to look weird. Okay. I'm going to lose everything, including the love of the people around me. All right. Great. Here we go. Repeat after me. Even though I have these fears and doubts.
Even though I have these fears and doubts.
About fulfilling my divine purpose.
About fulfilling my divine purpose.
And taking active leadership in this area.
And taking active leadership in this area.
I still love and accept myself.
I still love and accept myself.
Tap your eyebrow. You can do either one or you can do both at the same time. These fears and insecurities.
These fears and insecurities.
Tap your temple. The worst one is, I'm afraid that.
The worst one is, I'm afraid that.
Tune into what you think the worst one is. I want you to breathe and relax towards it instead of trying to fend it off. Big sigh. Tap your cheekbone. How intense does that worst one feel on a scale from 0 to 10? Give it a number. 10 is the most intense. How strong?